Hi, my name is Dionisio Rivas, and I'm reporting on the well, I'm going to do the three major ones that I consider my favorites, but I'm reporting on digital audio workstations, the benefits of some, what are the costs of some, and some of the disadvantages associated with different digital audio workstations, or DAWs, or DAWs, depending on how you say it. The first one I'm going to cover is Logic Pro. I've never used Logic myself. I've only played around on GarageBand a little bit, just a few times, and I really wasn't the biggest fan when I was playing on GarageBand with the layout and in terms of how easy it was to use the software. I don't think I was skilled enough though, so I would be interested to go back and look at how Logic Pro works and how, if I learned and taught myself a little bit more, if it would be a little bit easier to use. That being said, Logic Pro only runs on the Mac operating system, so you won't be able to get it if you have a Windows operating system. I also know that Logic has really good built-in plugins, so I think that's a benefit to somebody who's pretty advanced and they don't want to spend a lot of money, because Logic, I'm pretty sure, ranges at like $200, so that's a pretty fair price for a DAW with good plugins. The only downside to Logic, like I said, is the operating system. And if you're just not the biggest fan of the layout of how it looks, which I really wasn't, which moving forward I'm going to tell you about a DAW that I'm a huge fan of, that I've used multiple times, and that is Ableton. And through my experience with Ableton, it is amazing, and I think that it's the best DAW out there. Just even though I haven't tried them all, I'm a huge Ableton believer because of the fact that it's super easy to use after you learn how to use it. That's the hardest part, is learning how to use Ableton. Even though it is expensive, the EQs are great, the plugins they're okay, they're moderate, but I mean, I bought my own plugins for Ableton, but the cost price of it is a little bit expensive. You're looking at probably about, if you want to go all out, like 800, 700 on the high end to like 800 bucks. But it's worth it. I loved the MIDI accessibility for Ableton. It was very easy. I never used the live performance tool, which people on this feed have been talking about, but I think Ableton is the way to go in terms of DAWs. That I don't know. I just think it's a great tool, and it's funny. That being said, my buddy sent me I like to call it like a cracked out version of Ableton. It was pirated, and unfortunately Ableton found out, and they shut down my Ableton account for temporarily. Well, they shut down the version I had. So as you can see, they're pretty good about stopping people from using their stuff when they pirate it. But I'm a big fan of it, and I think Ableton is more suited for somebody that is pretty musically gifted, but at the same time uses a lot of samples in their work. Sorry, somebody's honking in my background. Because the way that you can cut samples and the way that you can change envelopes and pitch bends, I thought Ableton was amazing, and the interface was super easy once you figure it out. The last one I'm going to cover is FL Studio, notoriously known for budding beat entrepreneurs, people making rap beats, in my opinion. Love FL Studio, it seems like, partially because it was, or it probably still is, super easy to pirate, and it's cheap too. Runs on the Windows operating system, as opposed to, it won't run on the Mac operating system. But I've never used it, so I can't talk about how it looks or feels. I just know that for people looking to find a DAW that's cheap, or that it's good, but I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan, I guess, about the layout, how it looks. It looks a little weird to me, but I can't knock it till I try it. I just do know that it seems a lot of people use Fruity Loops in like when they're making rap beats. This because I listen to rap and I follow a lot of rappers, so I thought that's kind of interesting. But hands down, I am an Ableton believer, and I will continue to be forever.